Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, so where do I start with this one? I keep debating, but I already know that I'm gonna have a few on this one because after dating Mr. Lockakey, Mr. No Heart, and some of the recent matches or so-called matches when it comes to even friendships and dating on these apps now, it's scary. Because, okay, maybe, especially white men, European American men, Caucasian men, message, like, put it in the messages. Why do a lot of men not care politically about this country? And it's crazy because I understand, but I don't. Because I know and understand how this country was made for you anyway. So, and the Constitution and everything was written for the white man. And even when, like, the national anthem, when white people were so pissed off, so upset, so infuriated, when they found out there's a black anthem. There's no black anthem. There's no black anthem. Oh, so they get their own. That's so stupid. That's like when the original refers to us as slaves. I talk about that in a few videos, but it's like, yeah, that was about a month ago and stuff like that. So look those up, check those out. But I have run across a lot of men, black and white, who care nothing about politics. I have run into a lot of Asian and Middle Eastern men who say that politics no longer matter and or hardcore like Republican because they say that racism is over with, so they no longer need to unite. Like one even said, we no longer need to talk to black people because we now have everything we want. Yeah, but then I was just like, so why in the world are you talking to me then? And this is the be careful out here, ladies. Because, yeah, I said he was a Republican. But in his profile, he said he was a Democrat. And so, like, once he was talking, like, we were talking and stuff, but I brought up politics because I'm very political. And he started saying things. And everything started sounding Republican. I was like, oh, so you're a Republican, right? And I didn't let him know yet that, and I caught on to his lie. And he was like, yeah, he was, saying, and I was just like, yeah, but your profile says Democrat. This man created two profiles, one saying Republican, one saying Democrat, because he said the Democrat women are more fun. And he said that he's really good because, like, once I told him I had no interest in him, he was spilling all of the tea to me, all of it. Because he was just like, once I can get a girl out, I will spoil her. I'll make sure we do something she wants to do, and I'll make her have such a great time. She will forget about it, and if she ever brings it up, I'll just change the subject. And I'm like, what? Oh, so you didn't change the subject with me? And he was like, yeah, I forgot which one we matched on, honestly. And he said, since I'm educated and things like that, and then, oh, he says was how I talk, because he was like, well, like you're black and you talk that way, so I thought you were probably Republican. Yeah, racist, bigot, stupid, highly uneducated, no good piece of scum. But I digress. I digress. And just today, there was a black man who I matched with on one of the apps, and younger guy too. Like for some reason, these younger guys, and I was just gonna press the X on him because I'm like he's younger and not political. And I think there was one or two other things that I was just like, not at all, not at all. But I wrote him because, yeah, one minute. I have it somewhere on my phone because it was just today. Because I was just, because I even let him know. It's like, I hope you find your girl, but I'm political. And so let's see. Oh yeah, because it's like I wrote, "You're not political and dot dot dot. Trust me, we would never. I hope you find her." But then he just thought that he was going to be proving me wrong, and he was like, capital LOL. And then he was like, "I voted for Harris. Have a blessed day." And he even did the laughing emoji and a heart, whatever. And I'm just like, okay. I said, bye. And then I said, look at your profile. You say not political. I'm helping you because I was like, I'm helping you out. Like, you say you voted for Kamala, but then you say you're not political. So it's like, yeah, you can be. I'm not saying you didn't vote, but you said you're not political. Like, there's a, like, you voting doesn't change my conclusion. And then he says, I'm not, but I still went out and voted. And so then I said, okay, take care. Because I'm just like, okay, so why'd you tell me that you voted if you're still not political? And there's a lot of men like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back in the day. Like I said, I have so much evidence on this, but you do not know how many men tell me they're not political, or even in their profiles that they're not political, unpolitical, politics don't matter, or they tell me, you're a woman, you're not supposed to care anyways, or you're just supposed to find a man that wants you and you go based off of his politics. Excuse me? Excusez-moi. I am supposed to go based off of his politics? Like, no, I have my own opinion. And it's really crazy because like some of these Republican men, it's like they're like, Democrats can't have a deep conversation. Democrats are stupid. Democrats are R words. Democrats are, but it's like, okay, I am a Democrat. But men keep telling me politics don't matter. Republicans keep telling me that I am supposed to date them anyways, or politics don't matter. So why don't I date them anyway? But then when I start talking about like gun control, abortion, the crime rate, and things like that, and equality, and the housing crisis, and pollution, and different things like that, they get mad at me. They get mad that I have my own opinion. They're disgusted with me. They just want me to shut up. Like some men, if they make it to the phone, have literally said, "Oh yeah, just be quiet. Oh, that doesn't matter. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, that's this. Oh, that." And oh, that was so long ago. And I'm like, my parents both went through desegregation. What are you talking about? Like when they started school, it was segregation. And I think only like the last couple years of my dad's schooling was desegregation, but then my mom is younger, so she had to go through more years of going through the suffering of desegregation, of like especially the white kids trolling and harassing and being absolute nightmares to her. And like she's trying to do well in class and school, but then they literally, like, I'm not even gonna get into it, like the things they try to, or the way they try to harm my mother. Oh, absolute nightmare. But when men try to tell me politics don't matter, a lot of men will say that because they didn't have to fight to vote. They didn't have to fight to have their own bank account. They didn't have to like fight to be able to work outside of the house, not just having to take care of babies and the laundry and the like just the cooking and all of that. It's like when most people, they'll ask a woman how many babies you have, and if she says zero, oh my gosh, that's your job, you're supposed to. And some men, when they find me on dating apps and they find out I don't have kids yet, that's the only reason some of them want to date me, is because they want to put, like, one specifically literally told me that he wants to put a baby in me. And a lot of men have said that, but this one's, but like, he has kids by other women. But he says that he will never date a woman with kids because he's not going to deal with other men or their baby daddies. But he says that he has trained his baby mamas to act right, trained them to act right. But then men keep telling me, what does politics have to do with dating? And then a lot of men try to tell me, like, what a man wants, what a man demands, like what kind of woman a man will tolerate dating. If you've been watching my episodes, I have shown so many screenshots of different men telling me how the woman is supposed to just find a man that will date them. And I remember one, and I was like, ill, because this guy was just like, the way he kind of came up and tried to talk to me about it, I was disgusted. And, oh, he was so offended when I said ill, because at first it wasn't physically, but then I looked at his picture more, and then it did, like, I was just like, yeah, about that, yeah, probably that too, but I just meant it about your message, not literally you, but at the end of the day, it did, yeah, yeah, that, yeah, yeah, he had a good point. I meant it on the picture too. But anyway, it's like another example. This was on Meet Me, and it's like matched with this one guy, and we were talking and everything. But I bring up, and that's the thing, like, ladies and gentlemen, talk about politics on the first date. Some of you guys might be like, but no, if he's really hot, or she's really cute, or she's got a big tush or big chest, or he's got a big eggplant, and it's just like, I don't like, if you guys have a better connection politically, don't you think possibly you might have a better connection in bed? I mean, in the messages, can you let me know? Because I don't, like, I'm a sapiosexual, so maybe that's the difference with me. Because it's like, once I'm able to talk politics, like, not once, but it's like, one, if I can feel a connection, like, especially we're on the same political path and everything like that. Because even in one discussion on Facebook today, they were talking about the whole Tesla infomercial that the president did with Elon or whatever. And one person commented, and I was like, good comment. But then a Republican, they saw that she's vaccinated, or she has that banner saying she's vaccinated, and they were like, well, we know you're, like, stupid or idiotic because you're vaccinated or whatever. And so, and that's another reason, that's an like, yeah, getting vaccinated is political now. And it's like, with, on my dating profiles, on a few of them, I say you must be vaccinated. But then it's okay for Republicans to put Democrats down for being vaccinated. But then when a Democrat, progressive, liberal, states that they will not date someone that is, or who is not vaccinated, next thing you know, do you know how many men turn around and put me down and tell me I am shaming them? They tell me I am shaming them. Honey boo boo, with your, like, yeah, with your little tears and everything. How am I shaming you? This is a dating app. it's like, if you're not vaccinated, we're not dating. How is that shaming you? I'm one person, I'm one individual, and you're on a, like, this isn't like that right stuff dating app. There's actually other women on this app. So why don't you go and check that out? Why don't you go see what's going on? Like, yeah, you're on the wrong app, because you're literally going to try to tell me that, like, it's like you're saying I'm obligated to date men who are not vaccinated, even though, like, we will totally disagree. And especially when some of these men, like, when they're streaming, I caught one because I used to do streaming back in the day, and well, during COVID, because it got boring at home or whatever. And there was one guy who I would listen to, and it's like one time he was just saying, "Oh, if you get vaccinated," because this was like later on during, like, right when the vaccinations were happening. "If you get vaccinated, I want nothing to do with you. It's like I'll get my gun." And he started talking about how he was gonna eliminate people who got vaccinated. "You're such an R word. You're this. You're that." But then 2 or 3 weeks later, yeah. How come he wrote me on the dating app saying that he wants to take me out to dinner and how beautiful and stuff I am? But in that profile, I say I will not date you if you're not vaccinated. And a lot of men don't read, like, oh, do you know how many times Republican men, especially Republican men, look at my profile pictures or my main picture? They don't look at anything else. But then they're like, "You're beautiful. I want to take you home. I want to bend you over. I want to do this, whatever." And then they see I don't reply. And then days later, yeah, because days later, they're just like, "Oh," because some even accuse me of being an OF model, or like a troll or catfish or whatever. So then they start looking at my profile, and then they see, oh, it's like she's a no good, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, normally I'm not, especially, like, I'm not going to waste my time if I see that we are not on the same, like, level when it comes to politics. I'm not going to reply. I don't have to. And I've had men tell me that I'm obligated to reply. And I'm going to repeat that. I have literally had men tell me I am obligated to reply. And back to that one example, like that, like, this was like a couple years, because, yeah, like I said, I have so many. But there was this one guy that I matched, and we started talking, and he was just like, "Politics aren't a big deal. I don't care about politics, and none of my friends do either." And this is a white guy. But then he was like, "And none of my friends do either, and they're black men. No, men don't care about politics. Politics aren't a big deal." Okay, so if you get married to a woman, it's like, you're not gonna care. Like, if you try for a baby and then there's complications, if they outlaw abortion and she needs medical help, and, like, are you gonna cheer it? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And also, it's like with traditional household, if she wants to get a job or she gets a higher paying job, are you going to be jealous? Are you going to be upset? It's like, are you going to tell her to, because I've even had men tell me that I'm going to, like, because while teaching part-time as a professor, do you know how many men tell me that I better quit that job because that's going to make them look dumb? Or I look like I'm above them because I'm able to teach at that level or have a position like that? Do you know? And it's just like, I cannot stand, or I don't like, it's not classy with how she left him at the altar like that. But at the same time, okay, on, like, I've only seen like a couple episodes here and there of like Love is Blind, because my perfect sister loves those kind of shows and everything like that. So like during COVID we ended up watching a little bit of it. But mm, guys, ladies, gentlemen, both of you, ask these questions on the first date. It's gonna save you time and mental like, because like you don't want a hurt or crushed heart later, or you don't want to especially risk getting married to somebody that you don't align politically with, because as things change or go one way or another, like right now, what's going on right now, because now they're trying to blame it on Biden, which is kind of like, ooh, the education system in our country. Ooh, the education system in our country. But it's just, I don't even, and I know I keep going back and forth, but with that guy, he's like, I don't think politics matter. And my friends, including black men, they don't like, and some of them are black, whatever. Like, I need to look up, like, I don't know when I'm gonna have that screenshot. It's like, I need to, oh, it's gonna take me weeks, months, half a year to get through all the pictures on my phone. But I just remember how much he was saying politics don't matter. And he says like some things about me, or like, because I told him that politics matter and things like that, and he was saying some things back. So when I knew he was going to be asleep later, that because I waited a little bit, because I think he said he had to be at work or whatever. So it's like either he was at work or he was in bed, and I was like, okay, he's not going to notice, so I am going to go and block, and I blocked him, easy peasy. But then I think it was like a few days later, like, and it's crazy how many people have multiple accounts on the same dating app. Because next thing I know, this guy on a different profile, because I blocked him. I blocked him. But same dude came up and wrote me telling me it was immature of me to block him when I'm telling him how politics mean a lot to me and how they're important, and he's telling me politics don't matter and all of that. And this is another thing. Like a lot of white men, they try, and this is another reason why I'm like, I will never date a man that is different, where there's such a large difference in opinion on certain matters, because especially white men, it's like black men, yeah, I mean, they do it too, but not nearly to the extent. But I think with a lot of white men, they have this privilege and authority. It's like just because they're white men, they think that they are always right, and they think everyone else has to listen to them, or we're obligated to hear them speak because of like the, I think the colonization of their mentality. I don't know, their mentality is like colonization or whatever. That's the level of speak a lot of them are on. But this man found me and decided to write like how like I am like immature for blocking him and stuff, and I'm like, you're telling me politics don't matter. Okay, let's look at today. What's going on today, where literally in history they are deleting pictures that have anything to do with African American, or even have the word gay. Even have the word gay, even if it's not in that connotation. But if it's people of color, black, they're deleting, like they're whitewashing history. On political sites, not allowed to have black and Native American. Not allowed to have black or Native American. The people who built this country, and the people who like this, you stole this country from them, the starters of this country, this nation, and everything like that, then wanting to have English as our standard language when Native Americans were here first. Native Americans were here first. And then it's the whole Bitcoin thing, like, cause yeah, like people don't really know what they like. Yeah, they're doing a lot of funny business with that Bitcoin, so pay attention with that. But it's just like when people tell me politics don't matter, and a woman is obligated to date a man that likes her, and she is supposed to go based off of what his beliefs are, even if she disagrees. Because even at my church, my pastor even said a woman is not supposed to argue. He says even if you disagree with him, you are not supposed to argue with your husband, even if he's wrong. He said if even if he's wrong. And this is why I keep saying I am never getting married. I cannot, no. No, boo boo. And this is why I understand why she left him at that altar. Because I watched and listened to some of the things, like, because he didn't really care about some politics, or some men, they say they don't care about politics, because especially if they think you got a juicy tushy and a nice chest, they will do anything. They will lie and pretend as long as possible until they have you in their clutches, until they locked you up in their mind, until they trapped you. And then you feel like you're stuck in the relationship, like, oh, I love him. Yeah, you think it's love, but it was brainwashing, and they got you stuck in a situation you can't get out of. Be careful. Be careful. So that's why first date, bring this up. Some people are like, oh, well, I like group dates, and that might be like, no, don't do. Okay, call your girls and let them know when and where you are. Even let them track you. I don't care. Yeah, do that. But yeah, one-on-one date, because if it is a group date, he's going to play off of what everyone else says, and he's going to lie and make stuff up just to make sure he can keep you around, especially if he thinks you're that attractive, if he thinks you're that beautiful or attractive, or if he thinks your family makes that much money so he can take advantage. Yeah, men do a lot of things for different reasons. Women too. So it's like, okay, so people, but I know mostly the man side. So be careful. Make sure you add like whatever like political stances are the top for you. It's like, I'm not saying ask all of them on the first date, because yeah, some men say, oh, your profile looks more like a job interview. And it might. But some men tell me they don't agree with adoption, and how they're never going to take care of somebody else's kids, but then they want me to help them with their kids. You do not know. You do not know how many times that has happened. I've stated it in different episodes, so catch up. But the higher education, a lot of men say I'm stuck up for wanting a man with a college degree, a certification, or a trade. But it's not because, and that's the thing, Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart, high school dropout, college dropout. But the reason why I have that as a requirement is because they hated me for having my education. They were trying to stop me from my goals and dreams. And it's like they allowed their mother, one of them allowed their mother to say that I only got in because I'm black. And they kept wanting to say that I only got A, B, and C, but when I wrote my novel, when I come like one after another, they hated all of that. So when it comes to women's rights, ask about it. You better ask about those women's rights, because he might be trying to keep you in that kitchen. This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And I will get back on this. Yeah, it's like this is kind of a summary, but I'm going to target even more about the importance of talking about politics on the first date.